once began as a test for man has turned into a fury of pulling power. From air-launching monster trucks to the quest for speed and time, the unlimited matching of wheels and motors has sent us spinning into the world of wheel power. Power-packed motorsports. It's the excitement of power that puts man on the edge and the quest for victory that takes him over.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Wheel Power, the program that brings you all the action and tractor and truck pulling. Hi, everybody, I'm Dave Grimm. Tonight, we're coming to you from the Indiana State Fair Coliseum in Indianapolis, Indiana, for the 16th annual nationwide Kendall Indy Superpull, sponsored by Bill Estes Chevrolet. This is the granddaddy of all tractor and truck pulls in the country today, and we've got a little bit of everything when it comes to pulling, including the two-wheel drive trucks, the four-wheel drive trucks, the Superstock tractors, and the dragster tractors. And a new feature for the 1989 nationwide Kendall Indy Superpull will be, for the first time ever in America, 2 European champions are competing here on this 240-foot track. It'll be exciting competition, and we'll be right back with it right after this commercial message. The Superstock tractors are the backbone of tractor and truck pulling. John Deere's, Alice Chalmers, Case IH tractors. Now, these are tractors that at one time might have been used in the field, but no more. They've got spectacular Superstock engines with 3 and 4 turbochargers in them. It's a tremendous horsepower to weight ratio of the chassis, and it's a very popular class here in the Midwest.
Every class begins with a test puller determining if the sled is too heavy or too light. The test puller has the option of declining the pull and returning again.
Holland in a John Deere 4230. This was an old John Deere that had burned up in a fire, and he completely rebuilt the tractor in Holland. He calls it Bits and Pieces. This year, in 1988, he won the first European championship in his career. So here we go, John Deere fans, a great mixture of tractors in this class. Come on, Willem, let's turn it on. Go, Deere, go. Here he comes. Here comes Europe. Here comes Holland. Here he goes. Come on, turn it on. Oh, he got so excited. Oh, boy,
William Veldhuisen is the test puller for the class, and with a pull of 198.8 feet, he's decided to keep the pull.
Bits and pieces. Willem, congratulations all the way from Holland. Looks like you had some problems on the starting line. What happened down there?
Well, I think I didn't make enough RPM, and that's what killed the motor.
Needed a little bit more boost?
Yeah. We used to be this, to run this engine about over 5,000 RPM, and it's tough to do it with all the noise and everything on it. So, but we did make a nice run, I think.
How do you feel here now on American soil, making your first pull in the U.S.?
Oh, great, and I thank all the people who set this up for letting us coming to here.
All right, good luck and welcome to America.
Thank you, Beck. Okay.
All right, Willem Veldhuisen, ladies and gentlemen, from Holland. They like him here. He's gotten a big, warm welcome here to the States, and he made a good run with his John Deere.
And Dave Grimm, here's the guy that just murdered them all. This guy just murdered them all at the end of last season. Brett Berg out of Farmington, Minnesota, bringing out the brand new 7140 Case IH.
Next up was Brett Berg in Never Enough. He took his IHC Magnum 230 into the lead with a pull of 233.4 feet, setting an incredible mark for the rest of the class to beat. As the drivers were brought in one by one and hooked up with the sleds, it seemed no one would be able to beat the mark set by Brett Berg. Jerry Hart put his IH International 1060 on the line, but the Barnstormer could only dig in for a pull of 199.8 feet. Hooked up to the sled next was the 20-mule team of Thomas Dickerson's IH International 3688. Thomas dug in for a short 192.5 feet. Next up was Dennis Brabeck and the Brabeck brothers team. One by one, it seemed no one would be able to beat the distance set by Brett Berg of 233.4 feet.
Here we go now, up and at 'em. The John Deere 4010 of the Gettinger family out of Milton, Indiana. They've campaigned 3 tractors, in fact, this past year, an International, a John Deere, and an Alice Chalmers. And this little 4010 can really run here in the 7,000-pound class. Watch them wind it up. The Gettingers come off the line.
Well, that's the pull we've been looking for, 242.4 feet for Mark Gettinger. As Mark Gettinger and Brett Berg took their tractor to the guaranteed top 2 pull-off, it was Mark's Up and Adam who pulled the farthest.
Well, I'll tell you, it was all in the cards for this young man right next to me and Neil Gettinger. You made 2 spectacular runs, and a lot of people said, well, maybe that first run was real good, but he's got to come back and go up against the Big Reds again. And you proved tonight that you truly are #1 in the 7,000-pound class here at Superpull. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
Is this your first win at Superpull?
Yes, it is.
Got to be one of the biggest wins you've ever had in the entire history of the sport.
It sure is.
Congratulations, and this is one you're going to savor for a long time.
No doubt.
Neil Gettinger from Milton, Indiana, pulls one of the biggest upsets in his career, beating the Big Red Tractors here at the 1989 Nationwide Kendall Indy Superpull. We'll be right back with more action from the Nationwide Kendall Indy Superpull right after this.
Don't miss real action when Hart Productions comes to your town. Next stop, Phoenix City, Alabama, April 1st and 2nd at the East Alabama Motor Speedway. You'll see Superstock tractors in the 7,000 and 9,000-pound classes. But before the smoke can clear, the 2-wheel drives pull in for supercharged wheel-standing action. As they add weight to the sled, you know it's time for the incredible power of the multi-engine tractors. From 3- and 5-engine 7,000-pound class to 9,000-pound 6- and 7-engine powerhouses. As the caravan of puller power moves on, they find themselves at the State Fair Coliseum in Syracuse, New York for 3 big days, April 7th, 8th, and 9th. You'll see 4-wheel, 2-wheel drives, and 7,200 modified tractor classes. If you see a power-packed motorsports show that you like, just send $14.95 to Victory Production. Please include your name, address, and show requested. Tonight's feature class will be the 4x4 trucks.
Let's take a look at one of the standard classes of tractor and truck pulling. And that's the first class ever in truck pulling, the 4-wheel drive. A lot of people can relate to this class because we've got Fords and Chevys and Dodges. When it comes to brute horsepower pulling and these injected engines, the 4-wheelers have got it. Well, we start the 4-wheel drive class here this afternoon at the Nationwide Kendall Indy Superpull at up #1. Mike Johnson, the Big J team out of Perry, Oklahoma. This will be a Chevrolet, a 1988 Chevrolet, the new body style. He's got the big Aries engine in it.
The Oklahoma Showdown was built by Mike and Brother Scott and is the ultimate in 4-wheel drive pulling. With the 1988 NTPA national title, this truck may very well be the start of a dynasty.
makes a real good pull with Oklahoma Showdown. Well, Mike Johnson of the Big J pulling team, one of the toughest in the country, and you laid down from our angle just a perfect run. What will you do?
We're going to go ahead and take it. It felt good in the seat. I don't know. I just have to wait and see if the track dries out a little bit. It might get a little bit better, but I don't know. I'm going to take it.
All right, they play it pretty close to the vest. One of the nicest looking trucks you'll see anywhere. They've laid down a perfect run. The Big J team, Mike Johnson from Perry, Oklahoma. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this may be the class of the field right here. The Tennessean, Donnie Sanders, in the driver's seat from Nashville, Tennessee. And as you well know, the southern states are very popular four-wheel drive truck pulling states. The distance to beat, 2:25 and 7. Remember, we will bring back the top two in each class for a guaranteed pull-off here at the Nationwide Kendall Indy Superpull. On the left-hand side of the track. He had to beat 2:25 and 7. I believe he has come close. Possibly he has done it, but there was a large pop on the left-hand side, and this may require the forklift out here to lift him off. Well, Donnie Sanders making an excellent run down the track, but all of a sudden you got at the end of your pull and we heard a large pop on the left-hand side of the truck. What happened?
Well, I thought something broke, but when I got stopped and everything, I opened the door and looked out, and the left rear wheel just disintegrated. I don't know what, it just went away. I don't know what happened to it.
The wheel?
Just the wheel.
First time you've ever seen something like that happen?
Well, yes, sir, it is. The wheel just blew all the pieces over there.
All right, it was a good pull, though. I think you got to be happy with the run.
Yeah, the track offering a whole lot of power, and I feel like it, you know, if I come back maybe tomorrow, I'd do a lot better.
Our third truck in the class this afternoon, the four-wheel drives, is young 18-year-old Scott Smith of the Three Bears pulling team, nationally ranked. At 18 years old, ladies and gentlemen, he's the youngest competitor here this afternoon at the Nationwide Kendall Indy Superpull. Scott Smith, who has taken over the driving duties for his dad, Bob, and he's done one whale of a job for 1988. As he moves in here into 1989, he's going to be a tough competitor on the World Championship Pulling Series. Here he goes. That's going to put him number 3 here this afternoon. They come up quite a few feet short. Here again, he ran right down the center of the track along with the other drivers, but not enough horsepower. There's no question about it. He was short of horsepower here this afternoon. One of the toughest Buckeye competitors is the 4-play 1960 Chevrolet of Jim Holman from Wauseon, Ohio. Well, this truck may fool you a little bit this afternoon. 1960 was a very good year for Chevrolet, and this body style remained popular. He needs to have a run better than 2:16 and 8 if he wants to qualify. Oh, and they've got all kinds of smoke coming out of the engine. A real good run for 4-play, but they've got some problems. Well, this is a tough track here this afternoon, and the drivers of the four-wheel drive class are really going to have their act together because these tires are getting locked into the track so much. You can almost follow the tire around, and you can see it picking up that dirt. Track might have a little bit more moisture in it this afternoon. It's providing a good bite in the track. We'll be right back with more action from the Nationwide Kendall Indy Superpull right after this. Weaver out of Thornville, Ohio, just east of Columbus. He's driving a 1985 Chevrolet. He's no newcomer to the sport, pulling many, many years in four-wheel drive competition. Jerry Weaver makes a real good pull, a brand new paint job on this 1985 Chevrolet. Most of the drivers have selected the center of the track here this afternoon. Looks like most of the drivers are running right down the center of the track. Is that the hardest area on the track?
Be real truthful with you, I didn't get a chance to look to see which way is the best way to go. I just had so much problems on the line, I just put down the hammer down, went down the middle.
All right, Jerry Weaver of Thornville, Ohio, just happy to be at the other end. '87 S10 Chevrolet from Miramar, Florida. He's come as far as anybody has come for this competition here in the United States. One of the toughest Chevrolet trucks you'll find anywhere, and certainly the class of the southeastern U.S. He's got to have a distance better than 216.8 if he wants to qualify for the pull-off here this afternoon. Running down the right-hand side of the track. He came off the line on the center, but then he started angling it toward the right. Glenn Davis with Mean Green from Miramar, Florida, and he's going to come up short. Well, today's event has been dominated by Chevrolets here this afternoon in the four-wheel drives. Here's Hilton Clark from Winchester, Virginia. He's a teammate of the Three Bears team. He calls it the Dixie Digger team. It's a 1966 Chevrolet. You can see that he was weaving around on the track, trying to get those tires to bite in the track.
The track is just excellent, and it's just a guessing game, and we were sitting back there thinking about changing gears, and we just didn't have no time to do it.
One of the best tracks you've ever seen here?
This is the best indoor track we've ever been on.
Coming off the line. John Wershinsky, the Warsaw Express, he said the track was just pulling me all over.
Distributor cap was wet and it just didn't quite want to run right. But I didn't want to back out of it too much and completely quit at a pull like this. I had to do something.
Ed Hansloven out of Morrisville, Pennsylvania. The truck he calls Nightmare. It's a 1987 Chevrolet. He had some problems earlier in the class and had to drop a couple of positions here in the four-wheel drives. The last truck in the class. Crowd comes to life here at the Nationwide Kendall Indy Superpull. The first puller in the class, Mike Johnson, and the last puller, Ed Hansloven, qualifying to come back, the top two pullers here in the four-wheel drives, to do battle. Pennsylvania against Oklahoma. Very competitive pullers. It was anybody's ball game in a field of 9 trucks here today, and the best two will come back for a knockdown, drag-out battle here. A battle of the Chevrolets. We'll be right back with a four-wheel drive pull-offs from the Indy Superpull right after this message. It's showdown here at the 1989 Nationwide Kendall Indy Superpull, and we go to the pull-off in the four-wheel drive trucks. Our first competitor in the first round of competition was Mike Johnson, and he qualified for the pull-off at 2:25.7. They will go up against Nightmare, driven by Ed Hensloven out of Morrisdale, Pennsylvania. So here we go. The guy that pulls the sled the furthest will win it. And you can see they did the same thing that Ed Hensloven did. They ran down the left-hand side of the track. Well, I tell you, they're tough on the track, and if you can pick up something from another driver, you're going to use it, no question about it. So they, too, started out in the center of the track and then moved to the left.
It does seem to be a little better track on that side. There was a lot of trucks run this side, tore it up quite a bit. It was pretty soft. So we just tried to stay out of his tracks from the previous run and do the best we could.
Backing up to the sled right now, it'll be Ed Hensloven with Nightmare, the 1987 Chevrolet. The only puller in this class to make a full pull. But remember, the top two runs, the top two distances in the four-wheel drive 6,200-pound class were brought back for the pull-off. The Morrisdale, Pennsylvania puller will need to beat 2:21.6 if he wants to win it. He made by far the most spectacular run the first time around, and he's going to try to make a duplicate pull. He will not do it. Mike Johnson, congratulations. A big win for you here this afternoon.
Thank you very much. It felt real good in the seat again.
Well, it's funny, you know, the first time around, he put quite a few feet on you and made a full pull with a little bit of ease, but that doesn't always hold true in the second round of competition.
No, not always, because the track changed. We come right back there, and then he come in there, so it was all destroyed by then.
Congratulations. Your biggest win ever?
We've won here before, so it's great.
It puts it right up there on top of the table with the rest of the trophies.
Yes, it does. It's a real good feeling to come up here and win.
Mike Johnson, Scott and Mike Johnson, two of the greatest pullers in America in the four-wheel drive class, and they have won here again at the Indy Superpull. Till next time, so long, everybody.
Don't miss a Hart Productions event coming to your town. Tune in next week as man continues his quest for speed, power, and control. Power Pack Motorsports. It's your ringside ticket to excitement.